Hello beautiful people, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchi Imoh, and on this channel I share cake business tips and a lot of other things. A couple of things basically, tutorials. I do talks like this as well. And today, without further ado, I'll be telling you about this prints that I have right here in front of me. So I have a set of Baby Shark prints, and I also have a set of Paw Patrol, Sky Paw Patrol toppers or prints. I have this prints right here, and I'm going to be telling you the difference between the two. I'm sure you can already see that they don't look the same, so I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on this and educating you as well as to the difference between these two and how to use them on cakes. So if there's something you're interested in, you definitely want to keep on watching because I'll be right back. You're welcome back, beautiful people. So these are the prints that I'll be talking about today. So I'll quickly break this out so that you can see what they actually look like. This is a set of Baby Shark toppers that I have right here. Okay, I'm just going to set them aside, and I'm also going to bring this one out. This is the Paw Patrol topper that I have. Pardon me, the paper is torn somewhere. That's how it was delivered to me, but I'm just going to use it to explain to you and show you how they will work. This is edible prints, just in case I have not mentioned it, I can't remember. So this is edible sheets, edible prints, right? It usually comes this way. That's how it comes. The first thing I'll be talking about, I guess I should talk about that as well. So it doesn't come this way. The sheet doesn't come on its own. It is printed on a thicker paper like this, and it's placed on it. It just comes out this way. Okay, so I'll get to the part of why it's separate. I'm going to explain later why it's separate and how you can do that. And then this is what you call your paper prints. So these are paper prints. They're just like this, without anything stuck to the back. They're just on their own. So these are the two things we'll be talking about today: paper cards or paper prints, and edible prints or edible sheets, depending on what you know it as, or if you're new to them, anyone that works for you. So the first thing I'll be talking about is cost. In terms of the cost, this one I find to be more affordable than this. Well, it depends on a number of factors. It depends on the complexity or the simplicity of the design that you're going with. So the price of this, I'm going to be talking in terms of Naira, please, because I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria, and these are what they cost over here. So this, I said, is more affordable because a sheet of this goes for about 2,000, 2,500. I don't know if it goes for 3,000 depending on your location or where you're from, but this is around 2,000 Naira. I'm going to put the dollar equivalent on the screen so that you can know. And then this goes for about, the price ranges from 1,500 to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Not this particular set, but like I said, it depends on the complexity or the simplicity of the design. Like, there are different types. If I can find pictures of the ones that I've done before that are complex, that are more detailed than this, I'm going to put them on the screen so that you can know. But this is just simple. So a set like this should go for something like 1,500 Naira, 2,000 or 2,500 Naira. But one thing I love about this is the quality of the print. Okay, so I'm going to come to that, but not now, so let me not digress. So this is it about the cost. I find this to be more affordable than this. Alternatively, I can print these pictures. I can decide to print these pictures on this paper, and it will still come out at that price of 2,000 Naira. So it depends on what works for you, depends on what you're going for, it depends on the quality that you're looking for. Now the next thing I'll be talking about, is the quality. So I find this to be of better quality, sharper pictures, sharper quality than this. Let me bring it close so that you can see. I think it's the nature of the print, and that's why it's like this. So you see it has a dull face. The pictures are not as sharp as this. I don't know if it comes out better, but this is what I know it looks like. Edible sheet usually has a dull face. I've never seen an edible sheet or edible print that is bright, glossy, and shining like this. It always has a dull face, but I find the colors of this one to be sharper, a whole lot sharper than this. All right, so it depends on what you want. It depends on what you're going for anyway, the look you're going for. So this has a glossy look to it. Can you see it shining? Let me try. Okay, you can see that, right? You can see that glossy Look, so the card is glossy and this has a doll face. But let me bring one that I have here. So I have another one here, Mira. This is Mira the Royal Detective. So this is Mira the Royal Detective. You can see it's also glossy, but I don't think it's as glossy as the other one that I brought before. So these are the two of them. What can you see? Right? What can you see? I think it's still the same. Okay, so I'll just set that aside and then go on to the next thing, which is the flexibility. And now when it comes to edible sheets, look at it, can bend. It's very, very flexible. And then there are edible and then there are paper cards that are flexible like this, but it's not as flexible as this. Now if you're using it for a topper standing on top of your cake, it's going to be thicker than this. So there are different grades of paper cards. They're the ones that are thicker than this. For example, what I have here is thicker than what I have here. So this is flexible. So when I want to use it for the body of my cake, I just talk to the printer, let them know where I'm using it, if it's going to be a topper or if it's going to be on the body of the cake. And if it's on the body of the cake, they make it light like this for me so that it can bend, it can be flexible. So this is flexible, and then this is sort of hard. So you can see this one has a double, it's doubled, so it's thicker than what I have here. This is just single. So if I want to use it as a topper, they make it thick for me so that it can stand, or use a thicker quality of paper card so that it stands and it's not just light and, you know, flying all over the place. So this is lighter, and then in terms of flexibility, I prefer this, so I can bend it anyhow. Not anyhow, please, you have to be careful. If you don't handle it well, it will break and it can tear. So you handle it carefully, but I find it to be more flexible. Now, why am I talking about the flexibility? When it comes to, I'm going to show you how it works, but when it comes to putting it on the body of the cake, this is very okay for me because I can fold it, I can just put it on the body of my cake, especially my round cakes, and it will stay and it will not pull out. But this one, sometimes it doesn't cooperate. So when I put it on my cake, you find it sticking out. Not everywhere would stay on the cake this way. This part might stay and this one would just be sticking out somewhere. So I find it a little challenging to use this for the body of my cakes. But that's that as per flexibility. Now for durability, they are both fantastic, they are both good, but over time, if this one stays too long, it begins to discolor. But this one, I've had it for over, I think over 2 months. I've had this for over 2 months. They were from a set that I made for a cake, so I didn't use everything completely. I just switched up the designs, and so I had this one left. So it's over 2 months and it's still spick and span, it's still clean, it's still new, and everything is still in order. But I can show you what an old one of this looks like. It gets discolored, like it will still be fine, but the quality would definitely reduce and the brown would change. The color that is off-white would become more off-white. Even if it's in a film like this, it doesn't look as new or as appealing or as fresh as it's supposed to be. So what I do is to print a day before I need it, or they deliver on the day I'm using it, but the timing has to work with when the cake is going out. All right. Now for aesthetics, I prefer this. Okay, for the beauty on cakes, I prefer this. Why? Because with this, I can be creative. With this, I can do a lot more than this. Now it depends on your level of creativity, it depends on the design that you want to do and what you're looking for, but I find that with these I can do so many things. Like this, you know, paper cards are not restricted to this. If you check online, you're going to see different types of paper designs, different types of paper prints that people make, especially with the Cricut machine. You can do so many things with this. It allows for a great deal of creativity, I mean, when it comes to this. But for this, I'm kind of restricted. Yes, I can be creative with this, but I'm kind of restricted as to what I can do and what I can achieve. Now, these two items can be used for toppers. So if I cannot get this on time, I can also use this for a standing topper, something like this. This is a standing topper. That's why it has a skewer attached to it. What I would just do would be to put it on fondant, cut it out, put it on fondant, and then allow it to dry. When I allow it to dry, then I can put my skewer behind and then use it for a topper. So it works well for toppers. Yes, I mentioned earlier that I will come to why it's separate, because it's naturally or normally supposed to stick to the paper like this, and then I would use it, but I told him to free it for me. So what he does is to dry it, allow it stay and dry. Now for drying this, it needs heat, not extreme heat, but it needs a good deal of heat. So sometimes he will tell me to put it in the oven just for some few minutes, bring it out, and then it's easy for you to peel them off. So it's easy for you to peel off once you dry it in the oven, and you can detach it like this. I remember I used to be afraid of using this print because it would tear. It would be so soft and it would just tear. But over time, I found out that his paper is of a thicker quality. I can't remember where I used to print from before, but it's just, as you're using it, it will just rip off, it will tear. So using edible sheets was a no-no for me, but I found that his paper is usually thick. I don't know if I can show you the amount of thickness, but just take a look. It's thick and it's of a different quality. That was how I learned, or I started using this. So allow it, give it some time in your oven to dry a bit so that you can easily peel off and do what you want to do. So without further ado, I believe you're clear on this aspect, on the cost, the quality, the flexibility, the durability. And yes, for the durability, I must mention that this, depending on the quality of paper you're using, is not really waterproof. Yes, so I've seen pictures on Instagram, and it has also happened to me, whereby you just use this and think you can just put it on a buttercream cake or on a Swiss meringue cake, and over time you see it begins to soak in the buttercream or the Swiss meringue, and it becomes discolored, and it just gives that kind of look to your cakes that you don't want. So I'm going to show you how I use it to avoid all those. If I'm using it directly, then it has to be somewhere that I won't have issues like that. So it depends on the quality of the paper you're using, but I like to just take extra measures so that the oil doesn't stain my prints when I'm working. So I believe we are clear on all of that. And finally, the aesthetics. Let me run over it again: the cost, the quality, the flexibility, the durability, and the aesthetics. So let me show you how to use these items before putting them on your cake. Stick around.